What is up, everybody? We are back with some more NFL draft content, and we are doing a quick little film analysis and scouting report on Keon Coleman, wide receiver out of Florida State. And, he's definitely one of the guys that makes more plays. He has an insane playmaking ability, crazy catches, some crazy punt returns this past season. Has some questions about his speed, but without further ado, let's get right into the film analysis here and get looking at that. So here we're looking at some LSU gameplay here, and obviously we see the after the catch here. I think that's one of the things that strikes me about him is, if he gets the ball in space, even though he's slower, he can make a guy miss. And
Yeah, he's still a great playmaker. I mean, that's why he was returning punts, just because
Yeah.
of his ability to break tackles in open field and make one man miss in open field. Although his directional speed isn't the fastest, I would say he's a little bit more agile than you would think.
Yeah,
And I think that's
definitely.
why his 40 wasn't great, but his wide receiver running drills were a little bit more impressive.
And then right there we see, one of his signature jump balls
hmm
there, going
High
up over
point.
another guy. Yep.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
he
6'4",
he was
two
good at that.
fifteen.
He was good at that throughout his college
Yeah,
career too. It wasn't just this year. That's always been his thing, really. And
yeah,
that was pretty
6'4",
good defense
215.
too.
That's a big frame. That's an easy target. Here he is on a screen pass, making one man miss. I mean,
Yeah.
there you don't need to have much directional speed. He can still pick up 5 yards, get near a first down, which is exactly what you want there out of him. Deep ball from
Deep
Travis.
ball.
There he is in open space.
Good
Just that.
focus, good
Yeah,
hands.
yeah, yeah.
It wasn't super contested at the point of attack, but
hmm
when you have a guy draped on your back like that, it takes a lot of focus to haul that in over the shoulder.
Yeah, there he is on a little jet sweep. He's powerful. He's tough to tackle. It can
Yeah.
take two guys to tackle him, which is important when you're out in open space and you only got one guy. Here's Travis, high point.
Yep.
Great ball, great turnaround. He has great awareness of where the football is going to be. I don't know if that's just because of his link with Travis or that's just him being a high IQ football player, but great touchdown right there from Keon. You like to see that.
Another screen. They like that screen
Yeah,
on the
screen.
outside.
They do like that screen. This is a nice little
There's
hurdle.
a little athletic play there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he was getting a lot of usage at Florida State, being pretty much their only receiver. There's a good. I
Good
mean, you have to
curl
take into
and a
account.
hurdle.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
you got to take
that's
into account. So this is Southern Mississippi.
it
This is Southern
is.
Mississippi. So
Let's
no
settle down.
disrespect, but yeah. Um, there he is,
Yeah,
easy. That
I think that
not
was
much to
more
say
play
there.
design than anything there. Getting
Not
him
much to
open.
say there,
Yeah.
but here we go. Clemson.
Good defense. Wiggins might have been on it
Yeah,
here. Good.
way
That
to
was a
find
good
open
throw. That's
space.
some Jordan
Yeah,
Travis film right there,
yeah,
if anything.
yeah. Jeez, red zone. This is where he makes his money. Easy,
I'm
wide
not
open.
sure if there was some confusion there from the defense or he
Yeah,
freed himself. It looked like there may have been a miscommunication between the safety and the corner there. They
yeah.
both might have gone for the. Yeah, it looked like he thought the safety was going to stay on Keon there, give him a little push and nobody home.
Here he is against Clemson again.
Travis
Great
looking
play from
deep.
Travis. Interesting. I don't know if that was
Okay.
even intended for him, but
Yeah, it looked like he came back from the opposite side of
yeah.
the field and ended up with the ball.
Here we go again near the red zone, 25 yards and in. That's where you like Keon Coleman.
Create a little
Great play.
separation
Yep.
there.
Tough to tackle right there.
Yep.
Just pick up an extra 1 to 2 yards every time. I mean, the NFL physicality is going to be a little bit different, but he's a bully, and you like to see that.
He's not afraid of contact at all.
Yeah. Here's another 25 yards and in. High point it.
Good.
That's classic Keon Coleman. That's what he does the best. Goes up and gets the ball. Not
Yeah.
necessarily creating the separation, but he can go up and make the play.
Yeah, it is worth noting we've seen few catches downfield where he's had any
Mm-hmm.
separation at all. But obviously,
Yeah.
he does make up for that with his hands. But it'll be tough to see how that translates into the NFL against more physical, faster, stronger corners.
Yeah. There's a good play.
Little slant route.
Good release. Great release. Yeah. Wait for the first. Here's a punt return.
Now this is
exciting.
specialty here.
Yeah. Against an ACC opponent too, so not some
Got a free
nobodies.
man coming at him too.
Yep. There you go. Here's his
Just
ability
stiff
just to make
arm,
a guy miss. Yep.
breaks another tackle,
And
another tackle.
although his 40 wasn't the greatest, I do feel like his in-game speed is a little bit faster than his 40.
I
You know what
will
I
say
mean?
it looks like he does outrun some people, and there
There's a
once again,
crazy. That was one of the
incredible
catches of the
catch.
season. Yeah, great catch from Coleman. That's what he does best right there.
I'd have to say he has top three hands in this draft
Yeah,
without a
yeah.
doubt.
He's right up there with the best of the best with the hands in this class. Here we go again.
Another deep
Going
shot,
deep.
and there's some
There's some
separation.
separation.
Yeah, you don't see we
Mm,
haven't seen that often from him. That's an interesting one because it looked like everybody was going deep there. So not
yeah,
sure what happened there with Syracuse's defense, but
yeah. I want you to tell me, where do you think he fits? What team do you think he would fit with in the NFL?
I mean, I think the Ravens potentially could be a good
Yeah.
fit. Although I'm not sure he's going in the first rounds, and I don't think he's a late second rounder. I think he's better than that,
Mm.
honestly. I have him graded as an early second rounder, but
I could see the
it's tough.
Patriots maybe picking him up early second
Patriots, yeah,
round.
early
Yeah.
second.
Hmm.
Maybe the Chiefs at the end of the first, even though
Maybe the Chiefs. Yeah.
they normally like faster wide receivers, but it's possible.
I mean, someone could always move up and get him too. You also have Buffalo, who's just hungry for receivers. They might need the draft too. So
Yeah,
there's another great punt return there
another
from him.
incredible punt return, multiple
Yeah,
broken tackles.
great return. He knows how to make a guy miss, and that's
Yeah,
very important. There's Travis. There's a great route,
yep.
great
He likes
separation.
that crossing route. Seems to be one of his
Hmm.
shorter routes that he excels at for sure, especially in terms of creating separation. He doesn't do that on a lot of his routes. There's deep
Great.
post, incredible throw. I can't believe that
Yeah.
got through, but
I mean, Jordan Travis is a great quarterback.
good focus
That's
to
yeah.
hold on to that too and catch that in that traffic.
Here we go against a
Another
solid Wake
screen,
Forest team.
makes one
Screen,
man miss.
and that's all you need to
There's a
do.
little bit of that speed
Touchdown.
showing though. That guy
Hmm.
almost caught him there, and he had a pretty good head start on him. So
Yeah.
there's one of the concerns showing up, I'd say.
Yeah, but he does know how to make a man miss. There you go, right there. Just
And
one
that's all
quick
he
move.
needed.
All you needed.
Yeah, that
Touchdown.
is a linebacker that
Yeah.
almost hawked him down, and I believe Wake Forest. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who that is off rip, but
High point. Great turnaround.
goal
Touchdown.
line fades are going to be his bread and butter in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, Keon Coleman inside the 25-yard line, that he's going to be one of the best receivers in this draft in that sense. And
And
there's a
he
prime
doesn't
example.
push much either on these fades. I'm
No.
noticing not a lot of push off. Sometimes
Yeah, he has great
receivers,
awareness
yeah,
of where the ball is going to be, and that's crucial. Another unbelievable throw as well. You have to note. I mean, just
he
perfect.
adjusts really quickly as
Yeah.
well to move his body to get in front of the ball.
Here's another punt return. Now, do you think he'll be on punt returns in the NFL? Oof.
Obviously, it depends on what team drafts him,
Yeah.
but I think in terms of talent, it's all there.
There's the speed.
There's the speed showing once again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the
You worry about
difference
that,
in
but
some of these punt returns, like the difference in them being touchdowns, is his speed. Like he makes plenty of
mhm.
people miss and finds the open lanes here, obviously navigating through there. But he does get hawked, and
Yeah.
it's definitely worth noting.
Very elusive, but
Yeah,
not fast. I would say great
yeah.
throw and great catch right there.
Man, we could just half this highlight reel is goal line fades pretty
Yeah.
much, and
This is what he does inside the 25-yard line. He's money. Also, defensive pass interference on that play. So
it's pretty interesting. He had 50 receptions on the seasons for 960 yards. That's really
mhm.
low, like in receptions, but they were all big plays. And I
Yeah, I
think that
mean,
definitely speaks to the separation that he creates. There's an out route where he made a man fall,
doing
and
too much there at the hurdle, but
yeah, a little bit.
that's all right. That's all right.
Won't get away with as many of those in the NFL for sure.
Yeah. Also, welcome to the NFL moment. Here's the backup finding him.
Looks like some busted coverage there. He was
Mhm.
standing still open deep on
Yeah.
that corner route.
Now we're going to get you guys some coverage post Jordan and Travis of Keon Coleman. It'll be interesting to see the difference with that
Yeah,
in his production, just because it seems like him and Travis had an amazing connection. Here we go. Flip play. Yeah, he's
makes a man
super
miss.
elusive. Super elusive.
Really good instincts.
Hmm. Yeah, he's a football player.
All right, so
There you go.
we've taken a look at some of his film there, what he
Mm,
excels at, and now we're gonna hop into a draft grade scale of 100. We'll give him a grade.
yeah,
Me and Tyler rules both separately grade, put them together for a composite grade, and that'll be how we're feeling about Keon Coleman. And let's start with an athlete score. What are you giving him?
sure. So I'm gonna say his athlete score is an 8.4. Due to the lack of speed is definitely what hurts him, but his elusiveness is definitely going to boost that back up, and his instincts of football, just of being able to make a guy miss, is going to give him a little bit of a boost to athlete score along with his vertical to an 8.4. But obviously, the speed is the concern there with at
Yeah.
least athlete score. What about you? What are you giving him out of 10?
I'm gonna give him a 7.9. I think
Okay.
4.6 for a wide receiver is glaring. Like you
Mhm.
can't ignore it. It's really slow for a wide receiver. At the same time, though, I did just talk about his instincts, his jumping
Yeah.
ability, all that, his elusiveness, and that all kind of factors into that athlete score. So
Mhm.
he's still really high, but a 4.6 is so
Yeah.
low for a wide
It is.
receiver that it brings him down that like full. I'd put him at like a 9.3 without that 40.
Yeah.
It brings him all the
Absolutely.
way down to like a 7.9
Mhm.
for me.
I think that's fair. So next, we're going to go with size out of 10, and with Keon Coleman, I'm going to give him 9.2 on the size. He's 6'4", 215. I mean, that's really ideal for a wide receiver. He's got the height and he's got the strength, and that's why I got Keon Coleman at 9.2 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, he's not the biggest wide receiver ever or anything like that. So
Hmm.
I'm not going to give him a 10, but I'll give him a 9.5. I think that's a
Yeah,
fair
that's
score.
fair.
There's not much to elaborate on past his height and
Hmm.
weight. Tyler already, laid that out for us. But yeah, I'm giving him a 9.5 there.
Okay. Now, next to hands is the next thing we're going to grade. With Keon Coleman, I'm going to give him a 9.7 out of 10 on hands. I think he has one of the best hands in this draft class. Obviously, you saw those highlight catches he was making one on one, and that's just a tell as to who he is. And I'm gonna give him that for hands.
Yeah, I'm also going to be right there with you on. I'm giving him a 9.7 for hands.
Yeah.
So some of the best hands I've ever seen in a
Hmm.
prospect, for sure, and his ability to, high point balls and catch them
Yeah.
over defenders is just unparalleled in this draft
Hmm.
class. Marvin Harrison's the other name that comes to mind in terms of that
Absolutely.
ability, but
Yeah.
those guys are in a league of their own.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Next up, we're gonna go to route running, and this is
Yeah.
definitely one of the weaker points for Keon
Yeah.
Coleman. And we talked about his lack of ability to get separation. He only had 50 receptions on the season, which is also pretty
Hmm.
poor. And for this reason, I'm gonna give him a 3.5 in route running. His speed doesn't help him either. His speed can't
Brutal.
bail him out. And this has been going so well for him in terms of our grades,
Hmm.
but his route running is really poor, and we
Mm.
factor that in with his speed, and it's tough to give him higher than that, honestly.
I'm not going to be that mean to Keon Coleman. I saw a couple good releases there on slants, but obviously, still, that's the biggest problem with him and his route running. I'm going to give him a 5.2 out of 10. Obviously, you pointed all of it out. It's definitely the weakest part of his game for sure. And the last and the fifth and final way we'll be graded these wide receivers is the ability to make plays, and that kind of consists of yards after catch, being able to make a guy miss, and that seems like pretty much all we talked about in watching that video of Keon Coleman. His ability to make guys miss, obviously his punt return ability, and his one on one can go up and get a jump ball, and I think this is one of the best parts of his game. And I'm going to give him a 9.6 out of 10 in playmaking.
Yeah. I do agree. This is definitely one of the
Mm,
strongest parts of his game. Although I do think once again we have to factor in the speed.
fair.
Unfortunately for him, we saw plays that could have gone a lot farther if he was just a little bit faster. We saw plays he
Yeah.
got tracked down, and when that translates to the NFL, he's going to get tracked down even more.
Mhm.
For that reason, I'm going to give him an 8.5.
Okay. Okay. That's fair. And I'm going to give him an NFL comparison right now. I feel like two guys you could look at would be Allen Robinson along with Michael Pittman. I think those are two good comparisons for Keon Coleman. And for you guys who maybe not have watched him as much in college, but are thinking your team's thinking about picking him, those are guys you can fairly compare Keon Coleman to.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on those
Hmm.
comparisons, honestly. And he's coming out at an 80.8 draft grade from the two of
Yeah.
us as our
B
overall
minus.
score for him. B minus. He's an above average prospect, but
Mm-hmm.
he definitely has some things that are keeping him from being, a high first rounder. This is a guy that's most likely going in the second round.
Yeah.
Maybe by some prayer he ends up at the end of the first, but likely due to his 40 and his speed concerns, he's going to end up in the second round. If he can polish his route running, coming into the NFL, though, his ceiling is incredibly high.
It's
But
incredible.
right now, I consider him a low floor player just based on his hands. The
Mm-hmm.
route running is really what will keep him from being an elite player at the next level.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a difference between him potentially being Michael Pittman and him being Chase Claypool, and I feel like you just pretty much laid out that example for Keon Coleman, and that's pretty much all that needs to be said about him. I feel like he's going to be somewhere between wide receiver 6 and wide receiver 9 in this draft, and I guess we'll see.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
let us know in the comments what
yeah,
team you think is going to draft him. Where does he
yeah.
fit? If you think your team
Do
should
you want him?
draft him, yeah, that type of
Yeah.
thing. Let us
Mm-hmm.
know. Follow us on Twitter, and stay tuned for some more scouting reports, draft content, all that. It's a fun month to be an NFL fan.
Yeah.